There we go. Um, I would like us to look at First Samuel chapter 15. Victoria, go quickly. Zelina, go quickly. We have a lot to tackle this afternoon. I want to show you some of the Bible languages that you have to learn how to understand some Bible languages. Some figures of speech, some things that are literary, some things that are just exactly the way they are. So let's go to First Samuel chapter 15. Let's look at verse number 8. Read verse number 8 for us.
He also took Agag, king of Amalekites, alive, and utterly destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword.
Okay, listen carefully. Listen carefully. Saul, the king of Israel, he said he captured Agag, the king of the Amalek. People of God, welcome to Ancient Feud. This is a very, very important subject for us to consider. I am giving direction to this ministration today. This is Archbishop Idika Imeri, and we have been looking at First Samuel chapter 15. We did that yesterday, and I want to thank you all for coming, and for all of you who've been participating. Thank you very much. Those of you who are in so many other countries who are following what is going on, I want to thank you. Listen to the language of the Bible, because there are certain things that keep coming back because there was no decisive blow. So even though the Bible talks about that Saul captured Agag, king of the Amalek, destroyed the Amalekites completely, I want you to listen to what she is reading. Please tell us the chapter and the verse that you are reading. And read it very slow so that everybody can listen and kick in with you. Go ahead.
Okay. First Samuel chapter 15, verse 8.
Okay.
He also took Agag.
That is Saul, king of Israel, also captured. When he said took means he captured. He conquered and captured the king of the Amalekite nation. Go ahead.
He also took Agag, king of the Amalekites, alive, and utterly destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword.
Stop there. Wait. He slaughtered, that's the meaning. He killed every Amalekite. He killed the entire Amalekite nation, was wiped out. That's what we are reading in verse number 8. He and his army went in, they captured the king alive, and they wiped away the entire country. That's what we are reading right here. Continue.
Verse 9. But Saul and the people spared Agag, and the best of the sheep, the oxen, the fatlings, the lambs, and all that was good, and were unwilling to utterly destroy them.
Okay, you see? So they took the best of the livestock. It's possible too that they must have taken gold and silver and clothing that were worth it, which means they took the best of everything they found in the nation of the Amalekites. Now let me tell you something. The Amalekites were a big nation. They were not a small nation. And I cannot see how he wiped out the nation of the Amalekites. Yesterday I told every one of you of my skepticism about this kind of language. And I'm going to tell you what it means that he wiped out. He killed everyone in the nation of the Amalekites. Because that's what it says here. Now go to verse 20. 1 Samuel 15, verse 20. Let's go there quickly.
Verse 20. And Saul said to Samuel, "But I have obeyed the voice of the Lord and gone on the mission on which the Lord has sent me, and brought back Agag, king of Amalekite."
Okay.
I have
Continue.
Okay. I have utterly destroyed the Amalekites.
I have completely, utterly. What's the meaning of the word utterly?
Like totally?
Completely? When it says, I have utterly destroyed the Amalekite, what's the meaning? Utterly. Please help me. Everything. Thank you, Roslyn. Oh, is that Zell?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Zell. Everything. I've killed everybody. Apart from what we took for ourselves. Everything else has been destroyed. The nation is gone. But was that the truth? Because when you all read it, you think this is the truth. Was Saul telling the truth?
No, he was lying.
He was lying. Do you know why? Because we are going to see that the Amalekite as a nation were not wiped out. It means that Saul might have attacked where maybe the king's palace, where the king's palace was. A particular is like somebody going to Washington, D.C. and took out the president, captured the president, and fought the city. A lot of people fled to Maryland, to Virginia, and then he carried off whatever he carried off. And then he declared victory. When you hear the Bible says, and Saul said, I have utterly destroyed the Amalekites. It is a military language that means that particular side of the Amalekite nation that I fought, they surrendered to me. They were not prepared for me. They are not as strong as I am and my soldiers. We prevailed against them. It simply means we prevailed against the territory that we went to. We prevailed against them. We declared our military victory for that particular area. And that's just what it means. So some of the languages you hear in the Bible, you have to find out what does this mean. I utterly destroyed the Amalekite. That's not true. That's a pure lie from hell. So when you read it, it appears like, yeah. You hear some preachers are saying, yeah, Saul really fought and wiped them out. That's not true. It's a military language, which means that particular territory of the Amalekite nation, this is a big nation. And there is no way that Israel as a little tiny nation that was just coming up, a little tiny people, will have wiped out an entire Amalekite nation. These were a formidable group of people that live all the way to the Egyptian coast, all the way to shore, SHUR. They spread far and wide. And they spread all the way to Medo-Persia, all the way to the Persians. they mix also, the Amalekite also mix with other groups of people. And they were great travelers. They developed in different places. They migrated a lot also. Intermarried a lot also. They were known as people who do revenge very bitterly. You defeat them. There are two groups of people that we are going to meet to use to demonstrate ancient feud. The Amalekites and the Philistines. Because they keep coming back. In supernatural battles, in doing supernatural battles, you are going to come across human beings, families, tribes, race, individuals, that if you don't deal a solid blow to them completely, they will keep coming back. And you and your children will have no rest. Hallelujah. We are going to look at, now Saul says he has wiped them all out utterly. Let's see something. I want you to take a closer look at, hold on. 1 Samuel chapter 27, verse number 8. 1 Samuel 27, verse 8. Let's read that. But before you go there, somebody else should read 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 3. 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 3. While somebody read 1 Samuel 27, verse 8.
Okay, verse 3. Now go and attack Amalek.
Good.
And utterly destroy all that they have.
Okay.
And do not spare them.
Okay. You hear that?
Right. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Amen.
Do not spare them. But Saul did spare them. Saul did not wage all-out war. He was a coward. He fought what we call cheap warfare, which means you don't engage. Please, anybody talking with anybody, if there is a conversation, please mute. Okay. So if there is...
Please mute your phone.
Please, when you are in the conference and immediately somebody call you or somebody come into your office or at your place of work, immediately before you start talking to the person, press mute. Because we don't want to hear some important conversation you are having with somebody. Yeah. Yeah, we want your privacy to be well protected. Thank you very much. We are waiting for you to press mute on your phone. Oh boy. All right, let's continue. In verse number 3, Samuel is the one telling Saul to go and attack Amalek. Saul, as I study his lifestyle, is somebody who does what we call cheap shot. He look for cheap people to fight, cheap areas. Well, let's give him credit for going, but we cannot give him credit as a military man because he couldn't even fight Goliath. Now let's look at 27 verse number 8. 1 Samuel 27 verse 8.
1 Samuel 27, 8.
Okay.
And David and his men went up and invaded the Geshurites and the Gezrites and the Amorites. For those nations were of old the inhabitants of the land, as thou goest ashore, even unto the land of Egypt.
Okay. Even unto the land of Egypt. Is that King James Version?
Yes, please.
Okay. Is there somebody who has a version that is different from that?
Verse 8, and David and his men went up and raided the Geshurites and Jezites and the Amalekites. For those nations
And the Amalekites. Why doesn't your own contain Amalekite, Mary?
The mentioned Amalekites.
Yeah, it didn't come out the way you say it did not. Can you read it again? Let's hear it from you because it didn't. The Amalekite did not appear in your reading. It didn't come out openly. Okay, go ahead. Read it again. Let's hear you.
And David and his men went up and invaded the Geshurites
Geshurites?
and the Jezreites
Jezreites?
and the Amalekites.
Okay. Okay. Okay, let's stop there. Victoria, read it aloud. Let's hear you from the conference call line.
Verse 8, and David and his men went up and raided the Geshurites and the Jezites and the Amalekites. For those nations were the inhabitants of the land of old.
Okay, listen. These were the inhabitants of the land from of old. Do you guys get it? These were the inhabitants of the land from old. Now let's get the word old is where we get the word ancient. People who've been there forever. The Amalekites are among the inhabitants of the land that God has sworn to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob to give them some other people's land. People of God, listen to me. Listen to me. If you get this, you and your seed will survive. Christianity is not just about going to heaven. Real Christianity is about taking over the earth. It's about land. Please listen carefully. If you are going to serve God, if you are going to worship the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, listen carefully to what I'm going to tell you. Because I have never heard any pastor or any prophet minister along this line. They talk about demons and all of that, and Lucifer. That's a separate thing. We will come to that. you are going to deal with land issue. Land is the reason God made you to come to the earth. You came to the earth in order to buy or to inherit land so as to build houses, shopping centers, malls, skyscrapers, hotels, gas stations, grocery stores, apartment complexes, fish ponds. Create your own river and put your own fish there and sell them. Everything is connected to land. There is somebody who is disturbing us today in this conference line. Who is this? Can everybody press mute? Please, can everybody press mute unless you want to talk to me? Everybody should press mute.
Hello? Participants are muted and they can unmute themselves.
Oh boy. I think I've come to know that many of you are not even in the conference. You just call in, but you are not even participating. Because you are supposed to know that you are doing something else, that you should press mute. And this is what is happening in the churches. People want to come to church, they just come for coming, but they are not participating. And that is wrong. Instead, why not just stay away? So that those who are coming for something can get what they are coming for. I don't like this kind of stuff. It's not fair. Why I keep it open is so that people can participate, can speak. I can ask questions. And some of you have very crappy phones. Get new phone. They don't cost anything. Get some Samsung. Get some iPhone. They are giving it out for free. There is just so much you can manage with your phone. I want to save money. How much more management can you go with crappy phones? I used to do that a long time ago, but that's not going to take you to a high class life. Spend money for good things. Victoria, praise. What do people need to praise for them to be able to talk to me? What's the number? *6. Okay. Press *6. Those of you who are reading, or if you want to talk, you press *6, then you can talk to us, and then you press *6 and mute yourself again. This is the discipline. You see, many of you go to places where you are not allowed to talk. Nobody knows you. But I make this easy for everybody in the world, so that I do not just come into the conference, mute everybody, don't greet nobody, don't respect nobody. I just go in and say what I want to say and walk away. I don't want to treat you like crap. I want to treat you with dignity and honor. All right, let's go on. So you see, in 1 Samuel 27 verse 8, you see that the nation of the Amalekites, they have been there from of old. Please, let's get back to it, because I don't like to be distracted when I'm ministering. It's not good, so that the flow can just continue. Now, if you are in the conference and you are not muted, and somebody immediately coming to where you are, or somebody immediately want to talk to you, just press mute, then you talk to the person, so that we don't hear private conversations. It's not good. What I was saying is this. One of the reasons, and one of the most important reasons you came to the earth, is not to worship God. Worship is already part of who you should be. When you flip the other side of worshiping Jesus or the Holy Ghost and God the Father, it's about a land issue. It's about land. It's about taking land. It's about possessing land. If you have a land, you must keep it. Christianity is about conquering. It's about land. You see, the Islamic world knows this better than the Christian world. They took over places that used to be Christian places. Like Turkey used to be a Christian country. Libya, Egypt, all those countries were one time Christian nations. They were all of Algeria. You go up on all of the North Africa regions. We all Christian places. The Turks, the Arabs took them over because they understand what I'm telling you. That it is about taking land and settling your own type of people in that land. Because they have lied to us for so long that Christianity is about going to heaven. Because even after we all go to heaven, read the book of Revelation, we are all going to be returned back to this earth. That's why there's going to be a new heaven and a new earth. And during that time, the sky realm will be removed so that there is no difference between being in heaven and being on earth. So if you do not learn how to take land, purchase land, build on lands, build institutions, build businesses, those are the people, those who want land, who want to build hospitals, nursing homes, assisted living facilities. Those who want to build on land are the ones that God is going to focus on more than any other group of people. Please listen to me. God is going first and foremost to take notice of those who have appetite for land and to build on land. Those are the people that God is first and foremost going to give money. Money will not be given easily to those who do not want to build. Building is at the bottom of coming to the earth. Look at the lodges, like the Masonic Lodge. They teach their people to become builders. That's what it is. They will encourage you to build, because until you become a builder, you own a piece of land, you are nothing. You are worthless. That's the way they see it. Even if you do not want to live in a house of your own, have houses that others live in and pay you money. Especially if you've grown a little bit elderly. And that is where you need servants. You need servants to run things for you. I am going to encourage all of you who are elderly. That's why when people are young, saving, having a business, doing everything to have a lot of money for the future is very important. Because you are going to need servants. Everybody in the Bible had servants. We are not talking about slaves. We are talking about paid servants. People who drive you, who fly you in your jet, who clean the house, who cook for you, who do your laundry so that you can focus on the most important thing. That's where I'm heading myself right now. I want you to be aware of this. See, because of all the noise, people are not participating. And that is sad. Because what I'm doing is for participation. It's about building a nation, building a brand name, paying the price. There is a lot of pain to do these things. There's a lot that goes into it. Government paperwork, state paperwork, county paperwork, tax things. All of this is a lot of work to keep up with it. And only the strong survives. That's why a lot of people cannot own businesses, because there is a lot that goes into it. And if you're not somebody that is strong, you'll be overwhelmed and you'll collapse. And you'll go to depression and you'll go to bankruptcy. Some of you should become first-class bakers. Have the best bakery in the world. Have the best adult daycare centers, the best orphanages, the best assisted living facilities, the best home health care. Why? All of it is money, is services, good service provided, proper compensation or reward given, and it is in form of money. And then you buy land and keep reproducing. So God saying that you should multiply is not just about physical multiplication of making babies. It's about multiplying in money and buying land and building and purchasing. That's what it's about. Read the entire Bible. I am getting you out of Egypt. You are to go to the land of Canaan. The land of this, the land of that. I am giving you their land. So everything is about land at the end of the day. And what you do with it. It's not something that you should surrender to other people to build for you, to purchase for you. You must go there and do it yourself. You should never give money to anybody to buy land for you, to build a house for you, except somebody like myself who do a holding. Okay, that's different. Because I'm different. I'll never cheat anybody. I don't need to. If you come from India, you come from Africa, you come from the Caribbean, you come from the Middle East, you want to purchase land and build, or purchase a built place to live in it, or to rent it out to businesses, to universities, etc., make sure you go there yourself. Never let money exchange hand until the land has been signed over to you. A lawyer should be involved, not just one lawyer. Lawyers should be involved to make sure everything is right. The land should be properly surveyed, and you should start building on it. Don't give anybody money to go and buy land for you, to go and build for you. If you are from a different country, once a year or once every 2 years, you go there, spend like a month there, and let them see them build. And wherever your money can go, you stop there. Then you go away. I don't care whether you trust your family. If you trust your family, they are going to dupe you. Your family are going to dupe you. You will know who they are. Because when money show up and when power show up, you will know who is who. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
The Amalekites, the Amalekites are ancient people. They've spread all the way from shore to Egypt, from Egypt to shore. S-H-U-R. You saw it in 27, 1 Samuel 27, verse number 8. They are among the ancient people of the world, of that place. So how can it be said in 1 Samuel 15, verse 8 and verse 20, they were utterly wiped out? Impossible. It's simply a language says, I gained the victory over that small portion of their land. I declare my military victory over that. Because if this was to be a real tough warfare, the way it should have taken months, years, for you to do this kind of warfare against them and wipe them all out. So they were not totally wiped out. It was just a small area that he fought. And there was still, it's like just going to Washington, D.C., and you just do something in a particular area there. The entire America is still there. Washington, D.C. is just a little place. So he might have just attacked their headquarters, the place of the administrative posts where the king was. And the Amalekites were not prepared. So he took that particular area by surprise. So by the time the Amalekites began to really get prepared, it was too late. I am using this time to show you what the ancient feud is about. Because there are many of you that want to buy land, you can't. You want to build a house, you can't. Let's bring it down to reality. One of the greatest jobs of pastors should be to help their people to purchase land and to purchase houses and to buy off people. If people already have houses across the street, your job is to buy them out and let them move on so that you can own those places. God is far more interested in people who have appetite for money and for land and for building than any group of people, because those are the people who are going to inherit the earth. Mary, are you following me today? Because we have a lot of things to build together. You know that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I hope Roslyn is listening. And I hope Anne-Marie is listening. And I hope Annie is listening and Victoria.
I am listening.
Good.
I'm on mute.
Yeah. If there is noise in your area, you mute. If there is no noise, Roslyn, don't mute. Because I always like you not to be on mute if there is no noise. Okay? So please, if you know what I'm telling you, you will understand that the basis for ancient feud is land. Who is occupying the land? Who is in charge of the land? Who is building on the land? Who is going to profit from the land? Everything is connected to land. Land is the reason for battles. People don't want you on the earth because you are going to disturb the land. You are going to purchase the land. You are going to own the land. They don't want you to. The greater the land you own, the better. The greater the buildings you own, the better. So that's why many of us have started taking real estate classes, so that we know a lot about real estate, about taxation, about where to invest on the land. What do you build in a particular place? For example, in an empty, a little tiny city where a lot of trucks, semi-trucks, and people pass through, you should know that you should build a hotel there. especially if there's a truck stop there. You should know that you should build a gas station there. You should know that you should have a little mini mart there or a big one. Because people are passing there and they need to stop and fuel, gas up, buy bubble gum, buy coffee, buy candies, buy ice cream. People want where to stay and rest and eat. Have a hotel there where they are cooking good food. Let the smell be so strong in the air that as they are coming out of the car, that's the first thing that hit them. Boom! Is the smell of the food. Tell them to put more spices in it so that the smell is very strong, so that they cannot resist it. Next time, let them bring their girlfriends and their boyfriend and their husband to that territory to come and sleep there. Whatever they do in their bedroom is none of our business. We need money. We need to give good services. Let the food be so tasty that they will never forget the experience. Make the coffee stronger. Make the coffee so strong that if a semi-truck driver, after drinking our coffee, enter that semi-truck, he will drive like crazy, drive in detail with focus, never sleep. Yep. Make that burger taste so good that when they eat it, they will tell you they've never been a burger, a pizza like it in the world. Load that pizza with more meat. Load it with chicken. Load it with pepperoni. Load it with some pigs and some cows. Let them eat. Make it cheap too. Let the price really come down so that they eat a lot and always come back to eat some more. It's none of your business whether they grow fat tummies. That's in fact evidence of good living. Make the soda cheap. 100 ounces. Let them fill it up. $5. Let them drink. It's none of your business. If they grow fat, they grow big, that's evidence of good. It shows that they are happy people. I love it. Along the way, if more people start coming, then you put a little casino there. That's a blast. So instead of them going to sleep their life away in the night, let them come and gamble. So all that money come to.
Hallelujah.
I'm just being fair. I'm not asking any of you to become a gambler. I don't want that. Yep. They say good drug dealers don't do drugs. Good prostitutes do not prostitute. Others do it for them. It's all for money. But I'm not asking you to go and do a bad thing. I'm simply saying, find out what business suits where you are and put it out there. One of our jobs is to teach our members, those who belong to the millionaire clubs, is to teach them how to do those things. To bring the right people to train our people. How to get a loan. How to raise money for a particular project. Don't always all you think about is money to eat, money to wear clothes, money to buy perfumes, money to do this. Also think about money for a capital project that will sell in your place, in where you are. Target what do people want in this area. If there are a lot of fashion women, ghetto women, high-class women, then you should be sensitive that they need a lot of hair product. personal hygiene. What I'm telling you are the things that I want to do. As the money comes, that's what I'll be doing. The only reason why I've not jumped into certain things is I'm being careful about not doing something that will put me in debt. That's what I'm fighting against. If not, I would have jumped into so many things. And I do not want to jump into things that I do not know the end from the beginning. The reason why you need to do prayer battles is so that you can stay on the land and build on the land, purchase the land, purchase things on the land. That's the reason. Every battle between God and Lucifer is about the land for both sides. But the earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof. That's true. But the other group do not want you to be in charge of the earth that was given to you. The earth is under contest. This planet is being contested for. This planet Earth, is being contested for and against. Somebody who did not create the world is coming to claim what does not belong to him, what he did not create. That's what the war is about. And he wants to give it to his own people. While the Lord Jesus, who created the earth, wants to give the earth to us. And he has. Now it's your place to use money to purchase or to inherit. I hope you guys are getting it. That's why the Amalekites and all these nations and the Philistines are fighting Israel. It's over land. Up till today, Israel and the Palestinians are still fighting over land. Why are your uncles interested in you and your aunties? Is to persuade you to buy land and to build so that they can inherit it. If you live in overseas, you have to know this for a fact, that your siblings who live where you come from, where you were born, your mothers and fathers, your uncles and aunties, your cousins and nephews are nice to you because of land, because of your money. The power of the pound sterling, the power of the Canadian dollars, the power of the American dollars, and the power of euro. That's what they are looking at you for. If you didn't have that money, and if you are not buying land, if you are not going to buy land, they are not interested in you. In fact, sooner or later, they stop calling you. You are no longer their big auntie or their big brother. Forget it. They write you off. Why? You should come and build. And they are waiting. Immediately you start building and you complete it, whether you rent it or not. Some of them start praying for you to die so that they can inherit it. Mary, is that not true?
Well, it's true.
There are people who are praying for you to die so that they can inherit your money.
Exactly.
You want to come to America, go to the nursing homes and assisted living facilities and see. Children abandon their parents. Why? They appear like they are careless. Not really so. They want them to die, some of them. You look at the way they behave, you know that they want their parents to die so that they can go and inherit money and material resources and land. Just notice, this is a fact. People can't wait for the other to die for them to go and inherit. And those who want to inherit are the cheap people who do not want to go and fight for their own land and build and suffer like the rest of us. What I mean by suffering is toil and focus and work in detail. They don't want that. They want it for cheap. They will be judged. It's all about land. Land is the reason for supernatural warfare. It's not just you going to heaven. We will talk about that. Because you are being born again is being contested for. Mary, write that down so that we remember very quickly to do broadcast on you being born again. Because it's being contested for. also write about the anointing on you, your giftedness, your talent. Victoria, I hope you're writing. Your talent, your giftedness, you're being born again, your anointing is being contested for. People don't want you to have those things. Your money is being contested for. People don't want you to have money because they know that you are going to purchase land with it. You are going to do good things. You are going to become an institution and a business and a brand name. People don't want that. Vicky, are you writing?
Yeah.
Good.
What did you say at first, please? I've written the anointing on you.
Anointing, money, anointing, money, the land that you own, the houses you own, money, land. You are being born again.
Sure.
You are being connected to God. You are having the Holy Ghost. In fact, it's like everything about you is being contested. Somebody is fighting everything. Something. And it's all connected to land. It's all connected to land. Who live here? Who does what here? And that's why the Amalekites didn't want the Israelites around. And now the Israelites don't want them around too. And they keep the ancient feud going. You go to the mountain to do prayer battle so that you can defeat the other people in the spirit realm, in the mind realm, with money and on land. And then you have the right to exist on the earth and to build on it and to start institutions and businesses. That's the most important reason you are here. You don't hear in the Bible God telling Adam and Eve, worship me. It's not found in the Bible. You never see anywhere after they were created, God said to them, worship me. Because worship was already part of their DNA. It's about take dominion. Subdue the earth. Multiply on the earth. It's all about the earth, soil, land. He told them, focus on land. Focus on land. Don't focus on anything else. Because some people will focus on education. They will go to school till they die, getting degrees, as though that's going to give them money. Get some degrees and then focus your attention on land. Money should be channeled towards land. Everything should be channeled towards land. And you must be in charge of it. Other people should not be in charge of it for you. It should be you. Because the fight is about land. America today, there's a certain small minority of Americans that are afraid that they will lose the land. That's what the war is about in America. Who is supposed to be here? Who is not supposed to be here? African Americans were forced to come here by the sons and daughters of Europe, who treated them like crabs and used them for economic benefits. And now you want to force them out of the land. Are you serious? I'm just being plain about what is going on, because that's how some people think. And the majority of the white community are saying, listen, let us all go along. This is our land. While a small minority is trying to convince everybody that their land is being taken from them. And that's what the war is in America today. People do not want to call it by name. That's why you go to somewhere, black folks will go and build high-class building in a corner. No white person should come there. And that's wrong. White folks are constantly running to the suburb, going towards where there is river and the lake to go and build there. How much more fight are you guys? How much more? Where are you guys going to go to? Because you reach everywhere now. And immediately white folks go to somewhere and start a community, Spanish people come in, blacks come in. And they have nowhere to run to nowadays. You get a gated community full of white people. Give it 2-3 years. A white woman will come with a black man there. A white man will come in with a Spanish or a black woman. And the whole thing is messed up again. So they say. Instead of saying it's blessed, they say it's now messed up because it's now mixed. We don't want to mix. So where are you going to run to in America today? That you're going to see, you will not see Spanish people, Spanish-speaking people. Tell me. If you don't see black people appear, Spanish people are going to appear there. They are coming there as construction workers. They are coming there to make babies, whether you like it or not. So you better accept America where we are heading. Or you pack and leave America and go to somewhere else. Because it has become so mixed up. A lot of white men don't want to marry white women. A lot of white women don't want to marry white men. Why? They've tested Spanish and they're blacks. And they see they like those people. They like their behavior better. A lot of white women are marrying black men or marrying Spanish men. The whole thing is mixed. The children are mixed. So the small minority of black people that want white people to leave America, or Spanish people that want white people to leave America, or vice versa, it's not going to work. Because I know what the feud is about. It's about taking lands. All right. Let's look at 1 Samuel chapter 30. 1 Samuel chapter 30, 30. Somebody should start reading.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Now it happened when David and his men came to Ziklag on the third day that the Amalekites had invaded the south, and Ziklag attacked Ziklag and burned it with fire.
You hear that? This is now no longer during the time of Saul. Saul is long dead. So he said Saul has utterly destroyed the Amalekites. Now look at 1 Samuel chapter 30, chapter 30. The Amalekites have not forgotten what they did to the Israelites and what the Israelites have done to them. Now see what is happening. Please, sweetie, can you begin again? Listen to this. See the ancient feud, how it is carried out. Things are happening in your society, you are not paying attention to it. You don't know it's ancient feud. Please keep reading, Selena.
Verse 2. And had taken captive...
No. Start again from verse 1.
Okay, 30 verse 1. Now it happened, when David and his men came to Ziklag on the third day, that the Amalekites had invaded the south and Ziklag, attacked Ziklag, and burned it with fire.
See that?
And,
the Amalekites remembered what Saul did to them. And now the Amalekites are invading. They are burning Ziklag to the ground where David had his headquarters. They burn it to the ground. They attack the south. They attack Ziklag and they burn it down to the ground. Let's see what they did. Continue.
And had taken captive the women and those who were there, from small to great. They did not kill anyone, but carried them away and went their way.
You see that? The Amalekite came, took all the women, took the children, and the men who were there, and they carried them away as slaves. Everyone were taken. Continue, my dear.
Verse 3. So David and his men came to the city, and there it was, burned with fire, and their wives, their sons, and their daughters had been taken captive.
Okay, at this time, David's wives and the wives of all the men who were with David, and their children, and their servants, and all their belongings has been taken. They were captured, marched away. Think about that. How will you feel if you come home and discover that the entire city has been burned down to the ground? They did not kill anyone. They just took them captive and left town. That's interesting. This is the Amalekites doing this. But you read in 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 3, verse 8, verse 20, he says, Saul wiped them out. Continue reading, my dear.
Verse 4. Then David and the people who were with him lifted up their voices and wept until they had no more power to weep. And David's two wives, Ahinoam the Jezreelitess, and Abigail, the widow of Nabal the Carmelite, had been taken captive.
Yeah, Abigail was taken captive. Ahinoam was also taken, two of David's wives. So at that time, David had two wives. And they were taken, both of them were taken captives. Go ahead, my dear.
Verse 6. Now David was greatly distressed, for the people spoke of stoning him, because the soul of all the people was grieved.
Okay.
Every man,
continue.
his sons, and his daughters.
Okay.
So David strengthened himself in the Lord his God.
Every man had lost their sons, their daughters, their wives. They were all gone. Now they decided to do something. They had a meeting behind David that they were going to stone him and kill him. That's what they decided to do. That he is the one who has led them this far. And this is what they have to pay for following David as a leader. So they are going to stone David and they are going to kill him. They didn't want to talk to him. They didn't want to listen to him anymore. Continue. And David had one thing always on his side. He always had the presence and the power of God. He went to God to go and ask for help. That's the meaning of strengthening himself in the Lord. He went to go and worship God. He went to go and inquire of the Lord. He went to go and talk to God. How do I approach? So the rest are wailing and planning to kill somebody. David went to do something completely different. And that should tell you how prayer, the power of supernatural warfare. Everybody's complaining. Everybody's distressed. Everybody want to kill somebody for the mistake that has happened, for the problem that has happened. And you decide to walk away to go and seek God's face and ask God, what should I do in this situation? Continue, my dear.
Verse 7. Then David said to Abiathar, the priest, Ahimelech's son, please bring the ephod here to me.
Okay.
And Abiathar brought the ephod to David.
Okay. He said, bring the thing that we use in consulting God. He told the priest. See, everybody is dealing with their problem. Everybody is trying to solve their problem and getting angry. David now went to the priest and said, consult God for me on my behalf. See, David has finished praying on his own. He has done his own personal seeking God. But he knows that there is a side of God that only someone who is anointed for that do for him. He never, you see, this is what makes David different from Saul. Saul want to do his own thing. And David, who is closer to God than Saul, will not do his own thing. He allowed people to be in their... David never crossed to go and do your job to tell you how better he was. He acknowledged that you were better in that area than himself. So he called the priest. Consult God for me. I want to hear from God about this issue. hear what happened. Keep reading. Mary, are you listening? This is the kind of thing that I know that you enjoy listening to.
Yes, sir.
Verse 8. So David inquired of the Lord, saying, Shall I pursue this troop? Shall I overtake them? And he answered him, Pursue, for you shall surely overtake them, and without fail recover all.
You hear that? Pursue them. You will overtake them, and you will recover all. Why do you do supernatural warfare when everybody else is getting mad? Everybody is accusing you. Things doesn't look nice. How will you feel? Okay, many of you are complaining about little things that are, well, they are still important. But how would you have felt if your wives, your children, your men were kidnapped? Because this was kidnapping. They were taken captive. They are now slaves. And they are long gone. You don't even know where they have gone to. I mean, 3 days is a big thing in warfare. They are long gone. You don't know which way these men have run to. How will you have felt if your sons and daughters were taken? If your wives were taken? And there were some men there, some men there with their wife and children. They were also taken. A large numbers of people that formed, it was like a town. It has been taken. The whole city is gone. And everybody's getting mad. Everybody's blaming everybody. Oh, you will have left some soldiers here to have fought. Huh? And now this is what we have for following you and following your God. At that time, people will begin to mock your God. And David went and prayed. And after praying, he called the priest of God and said, Come, inquire of the Lord for me. Shall I go ahead? Shall I pursue them? And God said, Do. You will overtake them and you will recover all. See, the rest are complaining. The rest are arguing. They are overcome by emotion. They are overcome by the problem. And isn't that what we all do? We are overcome by our problems. It is our problems. And we get stuck in that trauma because it is our problems. This is what has happened to me. Oh my God. I don't have no more kids. I don't have no more wife. I don't have no more gold and silver. Everything has been carried off. Oh, it's better that I die. And you don't even go to God to ask and travel in prayer and say, what should I do? How do I go about this thing? See, this is what made God to be the God in the now. What should I do in this present situation? My son cannot be healed. What should I do to make my son heal? I've worked hard, money is not coming. What is it that I failed to do? What should I do to have money? Enough to purchase lands and build on it. Are you asking those kind of questions? Or not? Who is standing before God for you? That's the question. Whom have you chosen as your spiritual father, as your spiritual leader? Is going to determine how God reacts to you. The children of Israel fasted, did it on their own, but they asked Phinehas, you are separated to stand on our behalf. Go and inquire of God. And they won a battle. And here David said to what's the name? Read that place again. Read that place again. Let me pronounce his name very well for you. Zelina, read that verse again. Repeat that verse.
Verse 8.
Yeah.
So David inquired of the Lord, saying, shall I pursue this troop?
No. Read verse 7.
Verse 7. Then David said to Abiathar, the priest.
Okay, listen to the name. Abiathar was the priest. David never stayed in his life. Not one day of his life did David survive without a priest or a prophet. There was no time in the life of David that he did not have somebody who stand for him before God. That's why David was a great success. And Solomon wasn't. And Saul wasn't. Saul, the first king, wasn't. Even David was fleeing as a refugee with his family from Saul. He had a priest, a prophet with him. Why? Because when it comes to life issues, you don't need a book. You need somebody who knows the solution. That's what it is about. And a lot of people who are wealthy today have a spiritual leader, a mentor, a guru that they consult. Are you not aware that Nancy Reagan used to consult a psychic every morning on behalf of her husband and herself? Did you not know it? Have you not read the book Hello Nancy? I have. I have read every book I can find on Nancy Reagan. I read her biography. I read Reagan's son, Dwight Eisenhower, the main generals of the U.S. armies. I read their works, their writings, all of them. Have you read those works? What they said? There are some of the quotes from some of the generals during the Second World War, First World War in the U.S. Army. Have you read the works of Winston Churchill? You will see how powerful their minds are. When you see what some of the generals and some of the great leaders that has come and gone wrote, Trump will be like he was never born, like somebody in preschool. Obama will be like high school. I'm serious. They'll be like high school. Because when you read some of these great things by the military generals, by some great leaders that has come and gone among the presidents of America and the generals in the military, it will blow your mind. People like John F. Kennedy. Jeez. What they said. It's amazing. It's amazing. And all these men have someone that they listen to. For Napoleon Bonaparte of France, who crowned himself, it was a woman who is supposed to lead him. And he failed to listen to her voice. The woman said to him, "Do not send your soldiers to Russia. That will be the beginning of your downfall." He won't listen. And everything that woman told him came to pass. When I read, I think I read about 6 or 7 books on Napoleon. I like his appetite for conquest, but he was a proud man. He was very arrogant. And that's always what kills them, when they think they know everything. When you think you know everything, that's the beginning of your downfall. When Lucifer thought he knew everything than the person who made him, that was when he fell. If I tell you how women were to be giving birth before the fall of Adam and Eve, you'll be shocked. You can get a clue from how are angels made. Many of you do not know how angels are made, how God make angels. When I begin to teach on angels properly, I've taught on some angels, but when I begin to talk about their creation, how they were created, your mouth will drop. And we were to participate in that kind of lifestyle as human beings. Yep. How did Jesus come about as God, not as the son of Mary and Joseph, according to the earth? How did Jesus come about? From the Father. Yeah. When you enter into there, that's the secrets of God. That also tell you how angels came about from Jesus. Never be in life without a prophet or a priest who is your spiritual leader. Never. And when God chooses one for you, the greatest mistake you can do is to walk away and to go and look for a new one. You never go to look for a new one when God gives you one. It's like when God gives you an angel, and that angel job is a particular thing for you, and that particular thing take care of everything. And instead you see another angel that you think is better than the one you have or more powerful than, and you go to have that. God does not do things that way. And that's what we human beings are doing. God gives you the right person and you are thinking that others that you see are better than that person and you want to go fishing. And that's when your downfall begins.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. Zelina, keep reading. So repeat verse 7 about David and Abiathar.
Then David said to Abiathar the priest, Ahimelech's son, please bring the ephod here and to me. And Abiathar brought the ephod to David.
Go ahead.
So David inquired of the Lord, saying, shall I pursue this troop? Shall I overtake them? And he answered him, pursue, for you shall surely overtake them without fail, recover all.
There you go. Read verse 9.
So David went, and he and the 600 men who were with him, and came to the brook Besor. But those stayed who were left behind.
Okay.
But David pursued, he and 400 men, for 200 stayed behind, who were so weary that they could not cross the brook Besor.
Okay. So he had 600. So David had 600 men. Think about how 600 men want to stone you, their leader. So 200 were left behind at the brook because they were so tired. And then he went on with 400. Keep reading, my dear.
Verse 11. Then they found an Egyptian in the field and brought him to David. And they gave him bread and he ate. And they let him drink water.
Okay. They saw an Egyptian. They saw an Egyptian wandering about in the field. And they asked him, you need food to eat? He said, yes. You need water to drink? He said, yes. So they gave him food. They gave him bread to eat, which means they gave him food to eat. And then they gave him water to drink. And then let's hear what they said to him.
And they gave him a piece of a cake of figs and 2 clusters of raisins. So when he had eaten, his strength came back to him. For he had eaten no bread nor drank water for 3 days and 3 nights. Then David said to him, To whom do you belong, and where are you from? And he said, I am a young man from Egypt, servant of Amalekite, and my master left me behind because 3 days ago I fell sick.
You see that? He's an Egyptian, but he is a servant of an Amalekite man. 3 days ago, he became sick as they were going on the journey after raiding the south and Ziklag. So his master left him behind to die, and they went on their way. Isn't that interesting? That is wrong. Continue.
Verse 14. We made an invasion of the southern area of the Cherethites in the territory which belongs to Judah, and of the southern area of Caleb, and we burned Ziklag with fire.
Now you see, when you have inquired of the Lord, when you have done battle in the secret place, and now you start moving on, God will bring somebody to open the door. This is the connection they needed to know. This is this is the connection that they needed to know where their families are and where the enemies are with them. You see, only when you pray powerfully, only when you battle in prayer and travel in prayer, and then you hear God speak to you clearly what He's going to do for you, then you can move on. If you don't hear from God, don't move on until you hear from Him. If you do not hear from God, do not move on until you hear from Him. Abiathar brought the airport. They heard from God that they will recover all. They will overtake. And now the connection is happening with this sick boy, this sick gentleman. Now they've fed him, and he's now telling them what they have done. Let's see what happened with this news that they received.
Verse 15. And David said to him, Can you take me down to this troop? So he said, Swear to me by God that you will neither kill me nor deliver me into the hands of my master, and I will take you down to this troop.
The Egyptian said to David, Listen, you have to swear to me first that you will not finish using me and you throw me away like my master did. And you will not hand me over to my master if I take you there. See, that was a wise person. Let's see what happened.
Verse 16. And when he had brought him down, there they were, spread out all over the land, eating and drinking and dancing, because of all the great spoil which they had taken from the land of the Philistines and from the land of Judah.
See, they have raided the land of Judah and the land of the Philistines too. The Amalekites did. And they were spread all over like a city. They were spread, dancing, eating, drinking, because they have a lot of wealth. And you can tell what they might have done with the women. I hope you know what I'm talking about. Some of those women might have been raped. I'm serious. Just use your imagination and you can tell what do soldiers do. This is 3 days ago. Some of those women might have been slept with, abused. They were all out there enjoying themselves, dancing, making merriment, eating, feasting. because they had great spoil. And this young man took them. This Egyptian took David and his men, and there they were. Don't fail to stay. See, I am showing you small prayer accomplish small things. Big prayers accomplish powerful things. Please write that down. Small prayers accomplish small things. Vicky, are you writing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Small prayers accomplish small things.
And big prayers accomplish powerful things. And big things. Make sure you put there powerful and big things. Very, very important. David prayed first, then he inquired of the Lord second, and now God gave them the connection to find where their wives and their kids and their property were. Their wealth was. And these men were there enjoying themselves. That's a terrible thing that could happen to women and children and men. And you can imagine some of the men that they captured are there watching what is happening to their family members. And of course, you can tell that what we are reading there, that they were there eating, drinking, dancing. Who knows what exactly they were doing? Who knows exactly what they were doing? Hold on 1 second.
All participants are muted. All participants are unmuted.
What exactly were the Amalekites doing? They said they were spread all over the place. Why did they stop? Why did they stop? Why did they not move on? After 3 days, they stopped and spread all over the place. You can imagine how many thousands, hundreds of thousands of slaves they've captured. How much of gold and silver and bronze and animals, livestock that they've carried. From the land of the Philistines that they attacked and burned down to some of the places in Judah that they attacked and burned down. All the way to the south, to many cities, they raided and plundered and killed and took. Why do you think they did not kill the men, the women, and the children of the land of Judah that they captured, of Ziklag? Why did you think they didn't kill them? They took them alive. Why did you think they did so? Huh? What did you say?
Rape them and use their children.
Well,
They want to enslave them.
They wanted to enslave them. They wanted to share their women. And Hebrew women were known to be strong women, to be very good wives. They were nice people. They were beautiful people. And remember, at this time, there have also been some mixture between the Israelites and a lot of people that went out with them. A lot of foreigners also left Egypt with them. So there have been some mixture. So you can see in the family of Abraham, there's a mixture of the Syrian, that is the Chaldean blood, and Egyptian blood, like Hagar, Ishmael. And the other 6 children that Abraham had from Keturah that became different nations also. So there have been some good mixture. Beautiful, beautiful thing comes out when there is a good mixture of humanity. It's a wonderful thing to see. So why do you think that they stopped to feast, to drink, and to dance? Why do you think? What's the main reason why they did that?
Were they worshiping their God?
Okay, worshiping their God to thank him for success. That's one thing. What's the next thing? What's the next thing? Thank you, Roslyn. You are a wonderful girl. Zelina, you said something, and Pearl. I want to hear that again.
What did you want to hear?
Were you the one that just gave a comment about your opinion about that?
That they wanted to make slaves out of them.
They wanted to make slaves. Well, they have already made slaves out of them. You are right. They are captured now. They can do what they want with the women and the children and the men they've captured.
They're thinking that they're victorious and that they don't know that they're gonna come after them right now. They think they got away with it.
Yeah, they were celebrating. It was a celebration. They have to stop and celebrate. And celebrate. They've done a good job. They need to celebrate now. Wow. Interesting, isn't it? Really, really interesting. It was a celebration time. Who knows again what was happening? What is the main thing you are hearing? They spread abroad. We're eating and drinking and dancing, having a feast celebration. Vicky said they were celebrating. Mary, you are the Bible teacher in my ministry. Talk to me. Talk to us, please. I'm listening to you. If you don't want me to stop this program this afternoon, talk to us. You know something. You are not telling us. Okay. She's in a noisy place, so she cannot talk. Who again want to try? Okay, let me tell you what was going on. They were dividing the spoil among themselves. Are you getting it? They were dividing the spoil among. That is the main thing that was happening. They stopped and they started dividing the spoil among themselves. Who get what? Who get this? Who get that? That's what they were doing. Can you imagine that at the time that they were dividing the spoil, they were dividing who get the woman, who get the children. You know, this woman, these are her children. They all go to you. These kids and their mom, they now belongs to you. This man now belongs to you. Now you're a slave. This one. So they were. You can imagine how many thousands of soldiers we are talking about. And they are sharing the spoil. Think about that. I don't know whether we should be talking about thousands here or millions. And they were busy. They have to stop because it was a very heavy spoil that they've carried. So they stop to share. It's like thieves went and stole money. They have to stop somewhere and share the money. And then they will now begin to go their different ways to the different cities and different territories of the Amalekites. That's what was happening here. Because the Amalekites did not just live in one place, they live in different territories. And they also spread among other nations, like you hear here. So it means they were also featured in Egypt. They were also buying and getting slaves from different places that they raid or they traded with or they bought. So what they were doing there was sharing, dividing the spoil among themselves. And that was the reason why they were celebrating. Because people were getting goods. They were getting human beings. They were getting livestock. These 100 cattle, these 100 camels, 100 donkeys are yours. So there's somebody who is, their leader is doing the sharing. You get these 2 women. Well, Ainam is yours. Abigail belong to the other one. You and your children go here. And they were sharing them. That's a terrible sight to see. they were auctioning off. I'm playing with words. They were auctioning off the women and the children. Among themselves, they were dividing it. I'm not saying that they were buying. They were sharing it among themselves. Let's go to the next verse, please. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that at the time that they were dividing the spoil was exactly the time that David and his men arrived with 400 men, and they ambushed them, and they were busy sharing. Yep. Who want these 10 children? And the other one said, I said, go. Who want these 1,000 donkeys? I. Go. Who want 500 camels? You. The other one, and they were busy sharing and rejoicing and eating and dancing and worshiping their little gods. Go on.
Verse 17. Then David attacked them from twilight until the evening of the next day.
From twilight. From twilight. From evening.
There's that word again, twilight.
Yes. From evening to evening. He did not attack them in the morning. He waited until night is about to happen. As soon as the day is about to go and the night is about to enter, David starts the attack. See when the attack takes place. There are certain prayers that should be done at certain times. Every prayer prayed at any time is answered. But there are certain prayers that you should focus. Twilight talks about focus. And David attacked them from twilight till the evening of the next day. That's a severe battle. So it means this is what it is. When the Amalekites saw them, they abandoned their spoil and came to face David and his men. They didn't run. And they fought. It means they fought 24 hours. There was a battle. That's a lot of fighting. Why was this fight? They did not. You see, these men would have just mounted their camels and fled. Or just flee and left everything. Why do you think that the Amalek stood to fight David and his men? Why do you think so? Why did the Amalek fought David? Why did they not just fled? Because they wanted to keep the spoil.
That's right. Yeah.
Nobody wants to give up what they've stolen or what they have taken, what they have captured by force. Let me tell you, this is what prayer does. If you are not prepared, you'll be captured. If you are not protected, you will be captured. And a lot of people are captured because they are not prepared. Nobody prepared them. And they themselves are not prepared. So they are taken captive. There were no soldiers to protect the place. So these people just came in and captured them and took them away. Took the women and the children and everything away. Burned the place with fire. Human beings and demons and fallen angels will not give up what they have stolen, what they have taken by force easily. That's why you pray. That's why you fight. Even when they have taken from you, even when they have stolen, you are shining, you are luck. your money, they will not like to give it back. That's why you fight. I am showing you the reason for supernatural warfare. David and his men are fighting for 24 hours. There is a place to be before God for 24 hours to fight from twilight till the next day until you win. Do not stop fighting until you conquer. Please write that down. Do not stop fighting until you conquer. Remember that. Don't forget that. Don't stop fighting until you have conquered. It's as simple as that. Because what the enemy has taken from you, the enemy doesn't want to give it back. Anything the enemy has taken from you, the enemy does not want to give it back. That's why you do supernatural warfare. Please write that down. Whatever the enemy has taken from you, he does not want to give it back to you. That's why you have to face the enemy. And I'm showing you from the word of God today. The enemy does not want to give you back what they have taken, seized, captured by force. And you have to go to them force by force, principality by principality, sword by sword, gun by gun to get back what belongs to you. Spirit by spirit. See, David had prayed and dealt with it. The Lord has given him victory, but now he has to be engaged in the battle. So it's not enough for you just to pray and walk away. Supernatural battle prepares you. When you leave the place of prayer, you go and do what you got to do. You go to conquer. You conquer first in the presence, then you go out there to conquer physically. Don't just pray and sit and wait. They fought from twilight till evening. That's what supernatural warfare prepares you for real physical combat. If the person want, in fact, while the person is not prepared, you slap them with a lawsuit. Ambush them. Ambush is part of supernatural warfare. People were not prepared for it, and you attack them immediately. Do you know what will happen to a man that has been threatening to divorce you? Threatening to do bad things to you? And you didn't say anything. And one day he is in his office, and suddenly the sheriff department arrived with his divorce letter from you. You are the first to slap it on him. Bam. You know how he'll feel. Don't wait for people to attack you. Excuse me. And if they have carried away, taken away from you what belongs to you, you have to engage them in a battle. Supernatural warfare prepares you for supernatural combat, combat in the mind realm, and combat in the physical realm, and combat in the intelligent realm. Please keep reading.
Not a man of them escaped.
Not a man of them escaped. Continue.
Except 400 young men who rode on camels and fled.
Okay, 400 young men fled on camels. 400 young men fled on camel. You've seen it. Of that particular group of Amalekites. 400 fled on camel's back. The rest were killed by David and his men. So which means that they already had their camels loaded with treasures that were divided to them. And these must have been the smart ones among them. They loaded their things and ready to roll. In case something happened. So while the war was getting on, 400 of them left the war. Say to the rest of them, you guys can keep fighting David and his men. Who has ever, have you not heard about who he is? They are like, come on, go ahead and fight. We came here. We came here. We came here to come and get some spoil, come and get gold and silver and livestock and things. And you guys came here to fight. You guys can go on and keep fighting David. They were the smart ones. So while the rest were fighting, they mounted their camels, took the goods that they are able to, they already have mounted on their camels, and they fled. 400 of them.
But Bishop, that means that you still have some Amalekites on the loose.
Not even that. That is just a particular group of the Amalekites. That's just a small group of the Amalekites that we are dealing with. The Amalekite is a nation of its own. So these are just a particular group of the Amalekites. 400 escaped. That's just a particular group of the Amalekites, not the nation. This is a tiny group. And 400 fled on camels and said to hell with the rest of you. You guys can keep fighting. I'm not going to waste my energy. I have kids to look after, you know. I have family to take care of. I've already put enough spoil on my camel. Come on, boys, let's get out of here. Let the idiots keep fighting. And they fled. 400 fled. Roslyn said, this is so funny. This is so funny. Roslyn said, that means there are still Amalekites on the loose.
Bishop, somebody will rise up to get even in the future. That's what I was thinking.
Tell me about it, but baby girl, let me tell you, Miss Bell, there is still lots of states and regions of the Amalekite that were never touched. They are there. They are spread all over. So this was just a small, tiny city of the Amalekite that are thieves that goes about raiding. This is just a small band of the Amalekites that went. Yeah, this is just a small band of the Amalekite that goes about stealing and raiding places and running away. When they raid, they run and go on, and then escape back to their different cities and territories, and you don't know who is who went and did it. That's what they were doing in ancient times. People will come together in groups like a gang, like a mafia. They will come from different parts of the nations and then go and raid and then divide the spoil and then scatter again and just blend in with everybody. That's what they were doing. Because you see, they never took land. That's one thing you should know. Wherever they attacked, they did not take lands. They only carried off the human beings and the livestock and what is valuable in the houses there. Like gold, like silver, like potteries, all kind of jewelries and things that they are able to use that are worth something, that can fetch them money. Some of the people they've captured, they are going to sell them. Because you see, the story of the Egyptian servants will tell you who they were. They also were traders. They were human traffickers. Yeah, they were human traffickers. So they were also involved in raiding a place, capturing people to trade them for cash. That's what they were doing. And whatever they want to keep, they keep for themselves. If they like the people, if they want to keep the children, like some of their women who are barren, they will take kids, raid a place, take kids from other people and give to their women. and turned them into Amalekites. They were very strong people, very smart people. So a battle is going on, and 400 young men look at themselves and say, yeah, we have a long way to go in life. You guys can keep fighting. They mounted their camel and fled. Said, to hell with you all. We are not fighting no battle. Oh boy, that is so funny. That's so funny the way that Roslyn put it. He said, it means the Amalekites on the loose. Oh boy, that is so cool. All right, continue, Zelina.
Verse 18. So David recovered all that the Amalekites had carried away, and David rescued his 2 wives. And nothing of theirs was lacking, either small or great, sons or daughters, spoil or anything which they had taken from them. David recovered all.
So it means all of them, David and all his men recovered all their livestock, all their jewelries, all their cooking appliances, everything, their wives, their children, their men who were taken captive to be sold as slaves. They recovered all of them. And let me also share with you something you need to learn. Also, because this is how God sweetened the deal. Most of what this group of thieves, these Amalekite thieves, what they stole from the Philistines and other places that they've raided, David now had them. Are you guys getting it? Yeah. What they stole from other people now belonged to David and to his men. So David and his men now ended up being the owners of the spoil. So if these men, if the 600 men that were with David did stone David and kill David, they would not have recovered anything and they would not have been made rich. So in the process of a bad thing happening, they ended up going to the bank. Think about that.
But the 7 men survived.
So you see, this is how it goes. Because when they fled, those who fled and left the spoil there. Those who decided to fight all died. And remember that David was a soldier. His men, the 400 men with him, are wonderful fighters. So they spent days to carry out the loot that did not belong to them. Carry out the spoil. So, supernatural prayers prepares you for the sweetening of the deal. Things you were not prepared for will be waiting for you at the other side of prayer. The good things that you are wondering how to get it will be waiting for you.
I love it.
Yeah, things you didn't pray for. You prayed for one thing and it results in 7 other things coming to you for good.
Hallelujah.
All I want is to recover my wife and my children. That's what David actually was praying about. We don't care about whether, let's just find some way where they left our wife and children and they carried the livestock and the goods and other goods and left. That's all they wanted. We can have our children and our wife, that's fine. We can start from the scratch. Because let me tell you something you need to be aware. At this time, David was also having a test of his own medicine. Remember that David himself too was a thief. Are you guys aware of it? David and the 600 men who were with him were also raiders like these Amalekites. Come on, read your Bible, you'll see it. David himself was a thief. At this time of his life, he was going about burning to the ground some of the cities of the Philistines and the other groups, ancient groups there. He was sneaking in when they were not watching, or when a particular city was left unprotected. David and his men would go in there, kill the people, take some people as slaves, capture all the livestock and everything. David was doing exactly the same thing that this man did. Haven't you read it? Come on, go and read it. If you want me, I'll start giving you the passages, because we protect David so much because we love him. That's true. But David was doing exactly what these men were doing. They were all taking land, or if they don't take the land, they just take the land and the people, they conquer them, or they just take what is valuable to them, and they burn the place to the ground and kill the people if they don't like them, or they take them. David was doing the same thing. We call it raiding, raiding. That was what the different nations had groups among them who were practicing this kind of business. And David was very good at it. Do you know that David lived with the Philistines, and the Philistines loved him, but he was also sneaking out to other Philistine cities where he was not known and go and conquer them and take spoil. It was about taking spoil. So David was being given also a little bit of a taste of his own medicine. The only thing with David is he had God behind him. Because this is what different groups were doing for survival. I want you to be aware of the history. This is how people were increasing wealth. Some of, like this Amalekite, we may not know. It's possible the king of the Amalekite at that time have this organized group who goes to do this and bring back things for him, like ancient Portuguese and Spanish and the Roman people were doing. They will have a guy who is a prominent thief. He's known to be a highway robber, and they will bless him with a prayer and give him license for him to go and loot other nations and bring back the spoil to Spain or to Portugal and to Rome. Come and go to history, you'll see it. Licensed killers. And we have nice names for them. Adventurers, explorers, people who discovered places. Go and find out what they did, and you will not like them no more. David also practiced this art. He was not to be left behind in this game. I think after this, we don't really hear much of David being involved in this. But he also ended up having a lot of wealth from what the Amalekites also took from other places. Please keep reading. Many of you don't like to hear that David was doing that, but it's right there in the Bible. Because David is too good. It's like after Mary has given birth to Jesus, we don't want to see Mary give birth anymore. We don't want to hear that Mary had sex with Joseph. Shame on you. Then why did they get married? They had a lot of babies after Jesus was born. She was only a virgin until after Jesus, and that was it. So all that story about Immaculate Mary is a lie from hell. It's not Mary of the Bible. God, the Mary of the Bible is not of immaculate birth. Please get it straight inside you. Mary of the New Testament is not of immaculate birth. And did not remain an everlasting virgin to be venerated and worshipped. No. That's what we do to David and to Abraham and the rest of them. We don't want to see some of their weaknesses. So we make them look very nice for religion. Who tell you that I want a holy person, an immaculate conception person, to be my somebody that I adore. I want an ordinary person. And God is not looking for people with a halo over their head to do what he wants to do with us. He wants us to be ordinary people. Because at the end of the day, God is ordinary. If you did not know that. And that's what makes him extraordinary. If you see how humble God is, it will blow your mind. And that's the same God that when you see on warfare, it will blow your mind. Different side of him. Playing out at the same time. Please keep reading, my dear lady.
Verse 20. Then David took all the flocks and herds they had driven before those other livestock and said, "This is David's spoil." Now David came to the 200 men.
Can you read it again? Can you read it again? Can you read it again? Please.
Then David took all the flocks and herds they had driven before those other livestock and said, "This is David's spoil."
Okay. What do you think that means? Can you explain what you are reading to us?
I think that he took the flocks of the Amalekites.
Okay.
And that they had, because they had to have something there for their troop and army. And it said, "This is David," so that it belongs to David. It was just for David.
All the flocks, a lot of the wealth that they conquered, that they took from the Amalekite themselves, they said this is David's own stuff. Go ahead, my dear. It also tells you that chapter, that particular verse tells you that they also spend time dividing spoil among themselves now. Now the dividers and the conquerors are dead. The 400 smart ones have fled. It tells you that they also spend some time there dividing the flock. That's the meaning. Dividing the spoil of the Amalekites. That's the meaning. So you see, the Amalekites were dividing spoil. And David came and met them while they were dividing spoil. And now David divided the Amalekites themselves into hell. Except the 400 smart one that fled on a camel. And now, David continued where the Amalekites stopped. They were busy dividing the spoil. Now David continued. He continued the division of the spoil. So they divided the spoil among the soldiers. The 400 who went. Let's see what happened. Let's see. This is going to show you the humility, the gentleness, and the powerfulness of David. His power. How he is a great leader. What makes a great leader is what you're about to hear now. Keep reading, my dear. Remember that 200 of the 600 soldiers were so wearied that they left them behind the river for them to rest, while 400 went and fought. Now the spoil is being divided. Let's see what happened. See how true leaders emerge. Keep reading.
Now David came to the 200 men who had been so weary that they could not follow David, when they also had made to stay at the brook Besor. So they went out to meet David and to meet the people who were with him. And when David came near the people, he greeted them. Then all the wicked and worthless men of those who went with David answered and said, "Because they did not go with us, we will not give them any of the spoil, so that we will not give them any of the spoil that we have recovered, except for every man's wife and children, that they may lead them away and depart."
Okay, listen to this. What did he say? What are those men that are speaking? What is their name? What is the name given to them? They were what? Worthless and
They were worthless and
just,
wicked.
they were worthless and wicked men. Which tells you some of David's soldiers were worthless and wicked. Think about that. That's why you need to be somebody that constantly does supernatural warfare. Because some of the people that follows you, they might be very good professional people, but they are naturally wicked and worthless. And they are saying that because these 200 were not able to go to war, all we need to give to them is their wife and their children and let them depart and go away. We are not giving them their livestock back, the things that have to do with their livelihood, neither the spoil that we took from the Amalekite, we are not giving it to them. That's what they said. Why? Because they did not go to war with them. That's how worthless and wicked people speak. Let's see what David said.
But David said, my brethren, you shall not do so with what the Lord has given us, who has preserved us and delivered into our hand the troops that came against us. For who will heed you in this matter? But as his part is who goes down to the battle, so shall his part be who stays by the supplies. They shall share alike.
Okay, you see, the supplies of David and his men were being watched after by the 200 men. And David is saying they had the same job as those of us who went to go and fight the war. If they were not watching over this plenty of spoil that we had with us, they were the one watching it. Remember that David and his 600 men did not carry all their spoil to go to war. These 200 stayed behind, even though they were tired people, but they stayed behind to watch over the mighty spoil that David and his men brought back to Ziklag, whereby they returned back to discover that raiders have come their ways. David said, those who took care of what belongs to us are entitled to the spoil. Their wife, their children, their livestock, and the rest of the spoil from the Amalekite raiders. They are entitled to it as well. Because without their services, we cannot have what we have. Now let me share with you what you need to be aware of. Anybody who treats your gift lightly, don't have anything to do with that person. Anybody who thinks that you don't belong, leave the person alone. Please keep reading.
Verse 25. So it was from that day forward, he made it a statute and an ordinance for Israel to this day. Now when David came to Ziklag, he sent some of the spoil to the elders of Judah, to his friends, saying, here is a present for you from the spoil of the enemies of the Lord.
Okay. Continue.
To those who were in Bethel, those who were in Ramoth of the south, those who were in Jatir, those who were in Aroah, is that right?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Those who were in Sismoth, those who were in Estemoa, those who were in Rachel, those who were in the cities of the Jerahmeelites, those who were in the cities of the Kenites, those who were in Hormah, those who were in Korash,
Wow.
Rashan, those who were in Atak, those Hebron, and to all the places where David himself and his men were accustomed to rove.
Do you see how much spoil that they brought back? Are you guys hearing? David is sending spoil to all these places, to the elders of these places. Think about that. Bethel, Ramah, to the cities of Samuel, to the cities of God, to different places. You can imagine how much spoil that they took. You went to recover, and instead of recovering only, you recovered all. But remember what God said to him before he left. You will overtake. I want you to watch Bible words. The word overtake is not just a word of recovering. It's a word of taking spoil. Whenever you hear you are going to overtake, it's a word of multiplication. You are going to recover what the enemy stole from you. And you do not know that you are also stepping into an overflow. To overtake is bigger than just overtaking in warfare. It also means taking over a lot, plenty. So while you are asking God for God to give you back what the enemy stole from you, also ask for God to give you what the enemy stole from other people. I'm just being fair, just being nice, just being honest. Take also what the enemy himself, what the enemy has belongs to you. I'm talking of the good things that he has. They are yours in the first place. So you are not just recovering your thing. God is making the enemy to pay with his own things. That's the penalty. Anyone who has been attacking you is going to pay. Is going to pay. Not just to pay you what they took from you, but the court of heaven is going to demand that they pay you money forever. That they give you money forever. It is on. It is on. And you can imagine how much spoil there is. People of God, there is a spoil waiting for you. You do supernatural prayer so as to take spoil. Please, are you listening? There is money somewhere for you. There are cars, there are houses, there are businesses, there are people out there, there are servants out there, there are jets out there, and we need to go and get them. So while you are going to get what was taken from you, you are going to be surprised by what was waiting for you. Please listen again. You need to write it down because that is a very, very major key. While you are out to get what was stolen from you, you are going to be surprised by what was waiting for you. This is very, very important. I want you all to repeat what I've just said because that is the major key to what we've been doing in this afternoon. Supernatural prayer ushers you in to experience God's kind of lifestyle. Please write that down. And this is how it is. Please write it down. This is a very, very major key. When you are out to recover what was stolen from you, you will end up stumbling upon the goods that have been waiting for you. Please listen again. When you are out to recover what was stolen from you, you will end up stumbling into what have been waiting for you. That's the real thing. I will stop here for today, but I just wanted you to see that the Amalekites continued. They continued for a long time. I'm going to show you some other places in the Bible where David fought with the Amalekites more and more, and how you will see some of the Amalekites in the land of Esther in Medo-Persia. We'll be dealing with this evening. Please, thank you very much, and I wish you a very happy day. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Bishop. Thank you.